everybody. Welcome to Coffee Chat. I'm Andy Bozarth, Director of Outreach and Advocacy at AARP Kansas. And I'm joined today by Mary Tritsch, who is also an AARP Kansas employee. She's our Director of Communications. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Andy.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
I really appreciate you taking time. I know you're very busy, so this was kind of a big deal for you to make time to be on Coffee Chat this morning, and I appreciate that very much.
My pleasure.
And we are here to talk about an important upcoming activity, and that is the Andrus Awards. And can you give me a little bit of history about the Andrus Awards?
I would love to. We have been, AARP has been giving out the Andrus Award since I think 2002. So it's been many, many years. And what it is a very prestigious award that AARP awards volunteers in all 50 states. So here in Kansas, we have the opportunity to receive nominations and then choose someone to receive the Andrus Award in Kansas. And what that person would do would be, they would have to be a volunteer who is not paid and works either in their community or in the state and just serving others. The award is named after Ethel Percy Andrus. That's why it's called the Andrus Award. And Ethel Percy Andrus started AARP. And one of her mottos was, she had many, but one of them was to serve, not be served. And so that's what we use as we promote the Andrus Award. What have people done in their communities to serve and not be served? And so we're looking for phenomenal volunteers. And people may think, well, phenomenal, I don't know anybody phenomenal, but it's somebody in your community who is just doing things to better the community, who serves as an example to other people. Oh, wow, look at what he or she is doing in our community. Somebody that kind of stands out and makes a difference. And so that's who we're looking for. They do have to be 50 and older, but we will take nominations from all across the state of Kansas. They do have to live in Kansas and be a volunteer in their community. But so the reason I'm on here today is to let everybody know that we would love to receive nominations. And we have a very simple form to fill out. It's on our website, and it can be accessed at aarp.org/Andrus Award. So we encourage people to go on the website, find out a little bit more about it, and then submit a nomination. So we'd love to hear from folks.
Well, thank you for that. And I just put the website on there, and that is aarp.org/Andrus Award for you to go. And does the person have to be an AARP volunteer or member, or can it be just someone?
It can just be someone in the community. So, we hear from folks all over, and they think they have to be an AARP member, an AARP volunteer. Of course, many AARP volunteers have won the award over the years because they've been nominated. But that's what it takes, is someone has to nominate you. Someone has to fill out the form and submit it to us so that we can consider it. And what we do, we have a team made up of volunteers, current AARP volunteers and staff, and they will go over the nominations and then determine who the winner is.
And I just happen to have a picture to share of past winners. So let me put that on the screen real quick. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about some of the people who've won in the past, their activities.
Yes, we've had such a wide variety of wonderful volunteers. So this is only a small portion of them, but this was actually a photo that was taken in Hays, Kansas, several years ago. And the winner is in the middle, Guy Winholtz, and he was the winner that year of the Andrus Award. And so what happens is the person who wins, we usually go to their community and have a wonderful lunch, and they can invite their family and some of their friends to attend. And we have past winners there, as well as AARP staff. So Guy was the winner that year, and that was a great opportunity for us to get all of our previous Andrus Award winners who were attending that luncheon to get a group photo. So on the left-hand side is Judy Balome. She is our current AARP Kansas State president. And she won several years ago just for her work in the community. She's a retired nurse and does all kinds of wonderful things. And currently, of course, now serving as our volunteer president. So that's a whole job in itself. The next two are Gerald and Diana Schmidt. They're both in red, and they are a married couple, and they are an example of a married couple that can. So you can nominate a couple if they work together. And Gerald and Diana have done a lot of things in the Wichita community. Gerald is a retired teacher. They're involved with that. They do advocacy. They have been the face of AARP Kansas at various events in the Wichita, and they continue to volunteer there. So, so that's an example of a couple who have won the Andrus Award. And then, of course, Guy is in the middle. And then next in the blue is Judy Davis Cole. She's also a retired nurse from Ottawa, and she won the award for all of the. She is a very dedicated advocacy volunteer for AARP. In fact, most recently, she was helping us try to get APRNs or advanced practice registered nurses to have more authority in the state to heal, and that was successful. The bill passed, and Judy did a lot of work on that. So she's been a great volunteer. Next to her is Opal Flynn. She's from Ellis and wonderful volunteer out in that community. She writes for the local newspaper and talks about all the good work everyone does, and was very active in the Ellis County chapter, and just a wonderful woman. And then next to her is Ann Garvin. She is from Topeka, and she's served in a variety of leadership roles for AARP Kansas. As well as a community volunteer. People in Topeka know who she is because she's volunteered a lot. So it was wonderful to have all of them together in the picture. And we hope that this year we can get together again and celebrate whoever wins the Andrus Award this year.
Thank you for going over that. And is there anything that people should know about the process? Again, you can find that entry at aarp.org/Andrus Award. Do you have to have information, or what do you have to fill out the?
Yeah, you do need to have information about the person. We ask, what do they do? What are they volunteering for? What kind of impact have they made in the community? Just you do have some knowledge of the person. For example, last year we honored Susan Knipe, who is from Lawrence. We didn't know her very well. She wasn't an active AARP volunteer, but she definitely caught the attention of folks who saw that she volunteered in the community. She's a retired nurse as well, and she was helping give COVID shots, doing. She had worked for the Lawrence agency and did work with older Lawrence residents. So very good. So yeah, you do have to know a little bit about the person before you can nominate them. And sometimes it helps just to ask them. It doesn't have to be a surprise. You can say, hey, I want to nominate you. Can you give me some more information? I know you do this in the community, but what are some of the other things that I can put on here? And then we also like to hear how that volunteer work impacts folks that AARP is concerned about, the folks that we advocate for, which is 50 and older Kansas citizens. So how does it impact the older population in Kansas or in your community? So so those are some of the questions, and of course you can go and look at the form and see. We do have a time frame. The nomination period is open right now, and it goes to July 15th. So I think plenty of time for folks to get in and figure out who they might want to nominate and fill out the application. And then you can just return it to us either on the online form. You can just send it in online. That's great. If you don't want to do that, you can find our mailing address for AARP Kansas, and you can mail it in to us. We'll accept them that way too. And I'm available if anybody ever has questions. They can get in touch with me at mtritch@aarp.org. So lots of ways if you have questions or concerns or anything like that. But we'd love to hear from folks. We really would. We can't have a winner if no one nominates. So please go ahead and nominate.
Thank you, Mary. Again, the deadline is July 15th, and you can enter online or download a nomination form at that address, aarp.org/Andrus Award, and then mail it in to us. So is there anything else you'd like people to know, Mary?
Well, yes, for the last 2 years, since we haven't been able to meet in person, we were able to provide a donation to a charity of the winner's choice.
Wonderful.
So that's been really neat to do. And I think this year we're actually going to do a combination of hopefully a recognition lunch, as well as a contribution to a charity of your choice. And so I think that's a great way for folks to give back to their communities too. If they win, they get to designate a charity, and that charity will receive money. So it's a win-win.
It is a win-win, definitely. So nominate your fabulous volunteer that you know out in the community, making life better for the 50+ population and all of their family. Mm-hmm. So thank you again, Mary. Appreciate it. And thank you to those of you who are watching, and we'll see you again next Wednesday at 10 o'clock, same location. Thank you very much.